Brought to you by ProAudiostar.com, Brooklyn's #1 source for professional audio and DJ equipment. Hi, welcome to WorkingManStudios. My name's Carl, and this is another edition of Mic Shootout, or Mic Check. This is where we do a shootout of the latest and greatest gear, particularly microphones in this case. And today we have the Shure SM58 versus the Audix OM2. Now they're similarly priced at $99, and they're both a great buy. There's just a little bit of differences between these two microphones. First of all, the Shure is a cardioid polar pattern microphone with a frequency response of 50 to 15 kilohertz. Now, the build construction of the Shure is obviously what it's known for, and you can literally run it over with a dump truck and it'll still work. The grill will probably be all bent up, but it'll still work. The Audix OM2, however, is a hypercardioid polar pattern. And if you don't know what that means, is it pretty much only will pick up sound directly in front of the microphone. None of the sides here will pick up sound, just directly in front of the microphone. And it has a little bit of pickup in the back here because it is a hypercardioid. The frequency response of the Audix is about 50 to 16. Now, it's got a bit of a high boost to it and makes the clarity of the mix stand out. And it's not harsh, but you'll see when you talk into it what I'm talking about, how when I say it's very not plosive, but it has a lot of S sounds and P sounds and B sounds. So it's probably due to the lack of foam inside the microphone, which they did so it could be very clear. But I think it's a bit of a downfall for the microphone. The price is $99, like I said, and we're going to be hooking these two mics up in a second to talk through them. But first, I want to tell you that all the EQs and all the volumes and the gains are all set completely equal. There's no EQ; it's all set flat. We're running through Planet Waves cables into a Behringer mixer through an Apogee 1 interface. So let's mute this mic and go into the review. As you can hear, the 58, like always, sounds very smooth, very little bit muddy. Lower mids are a bit heavy in this microphone, and it's a very smooth microphone, like I said, and it just sounds, to me, I love this microphone. It sounds great. I switch over here to the Audix, and you can hear it does have that low end presence, but it does have a presence boost in the upper mids and the highs. To me, it sounds as good as the 58, maybe a little bit better because it clears up the muddiness. But like I said, you can hear all the ps, tss, ps, tss, whereas the 58 here, ps, tss, the 58 does a little bit better job in getting rid of those plosives and those S sounds. And that's probably the only downfall of, well, actually that's one of the only downfalls of the microphone. The OM2 has a bit of a handling noise that's really apparent. Compared to the 58. 58 is a lower handling noise, and you can get most of it out by a low-cut filter. With the Audix OM2, you're really going to have to, you're going to have to really be careful when you're using the Audix OM2 by hand. On a mic stand, should be okay. Now, the OM2, like I said, is, you get that pss, tss, pff, pff sound. So what I do is I normally put a pop filter on it, and it sounds great. I do use it for a lot of broadcasting stuff because it does have that clarity that you really need. So let me demonstrate the hypercardioid pattern for you. I'm talking directly into the center of the microphone. And if I start to go down, and you're going to hear it just drop off dramatically. And you can probably hear me a little bit, but not as much at all. And you come up here. So there's a dramatic drop off. Whereas the 58, I can come almost to the side of the microphone, and you're still going to hear me pretty well compared to the front of the microphone. Now the Shure has a proximity effect that's it's pretty good. You can back off it, and it still sounds really good, but when you get really close to it, you're going to hear that increase in bass and volume. With the Audix, if you start to drop off, it drops off very, very fast. So you're going to have to stay at least a centimeter or two to this microphone, if not constantly up on it like I'm doing right now. So that hypercardioid pattern really makes things tight on that polar pattern. Whereas the cardioid pattern on the Shure, it's very forgiving as to where you can talk, speak, sing into, as to where the Audix is not. Let me put this pop filter on so you can hear what I'm talking about. Sorry for the noise. Now, since I put this pop filter on, you can hear the S's and the P's and the B's are not as pronounced, and it sounds a lot better, I really do think, than this Shure SM58. And now that I'm actually listening to it, the Audix seems to have less of an output than the 58. But that could just be my ears. I'm checking the boards here right now, and the 58 does seem to have more of a... they're pretty similar, but the 58's a little bit higher output, which is surprising. For $99, I might have to go for the 58 on this one, because pop filters just in a live setting, they don't really work too well. It's unappealing, to tell you the truth, but if you're going to use a broadcast setting or a speech microphone, I would go for the Audix i5 because it's much clearer. But in a singing live vocal application, I would definitely go for the Shure. The drawbacks of this going for the Shure would be it's a cardioid pattern, so you're going to get more feedback, and it's going to be a little bit muddier, of course. Whereas the Audix is very clear, very good sounding microphone. All the basses, all the necessary frequencies are there, I believe. But the hypercardioid pattern is great. I love it. You can basically just go off and you don't hear anything. So feedback on this microphone is great. You don't get any really at all. The only drawback is the handling noise and the plosive sounds. That's pretty much it. Let's what I'm going to do is, since I want to show you that the Audix has a weird kind of pop filter on it, integrated pop filter, I'm going to take it off and I'm going to unscrew it, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. So I muted the mic, and we're going to take it off here. Here's the inside of the mic, and you can see there's the capsule right there. There's not really a big piece of foam covering this, like really at all. And that's a big downfall, because that integrated piece of foam, as I switch to the OM2 here, that integrated piece of foam is necessary in blocking some of those plosives. Now the grill on it has foam inside, but as you can see from the Shure here, it's got some foam in there to protect the capsule from any damage and or unnecessary plosives like you'd hear on the OM2 here. So that's pretty much it for this demo. So my choice would be singing and whatnot. Go for the Shure 58. And if you're going to do spoken word with like broadcast and whatnot, and you're going to use a pop filter, definitely go for the Audix. I just can't see getting it brand new for $99 versus the Shure because of its handling noise and the fact that it does produce a lot of plosives and S sounds. All right, I hope this has been helpful. So thanks for watching WorkingManStudios.